Imagine a fluid so precious that it contains life force itself. Further, imagine that this fluid is created in all men's bodies, and the retaining of said fluid could lead to sexual and personal superpowers that led to men's greatest and most powerful achievements beyond their wildest dreams. What would you call such a fluid? Well, most of us just call it semen. Hi, I'm Caitlin B, sex coach for men, and today I'm going to talk about semen retention. I'm specifically going to talk about how to utilize this ancient practice to get better at sex, become more attractive to women, and help cure your premature ejaculation or develop endless stamina. And I do mean endless. Stay tuned. You are not going to want to miss any of this. And you know what else you're not going to want to miss? Any other amazing video that I post. So make sure that you are subscribed. Really take a second right in the down there and make sure that you're subscribed, and then go into the comments and type yes to confirm that you did. I appreciate you so much. All right. Semen retention. Listen, I come from a Western science perspective, empirical science perspective. I was a researcher before I was a sex coach, and there's a reason I have never talked about semen retention before. It's not because I wasn't familiar with it or not familiar with its benefits. It's actually because there's not a lot of great data from like peer-reviewed sources, empirical evidence that supports semen retention. In fact, there's been some suggestion that retaining semen and not having ejaculation on the regular can be bad for a man's prostate. However, that research is a little shaky. Either way, I think it's worthwhile to take a deep dive into this subject because it actually has some ridiculous and slightly hard to believe benefits, but I've seen it for myself. I've seen it for the men in my life, so I'm sharing it with you here. Now, I wasn't lying at the top of this video. Semen really does contain not just the DNA that creates life. I mean, that's a given. It also contains many of the vitamins and minerals that are the most important for the body's functioning, specifically the body's nervous system. No surprise that it actually takes quite a bit of energy for your body to produce sperm and to produce the liquids that carry sperm in ejaculate. It's really important stuff. In fact, you could make an argument that it's the most important fluid to our species and to the continuation of our genetic material. So our bodies don't spare any energy. They put a ton of great high quality nutrients into that stuff, and then it leaves the body. And the majority of men who have a regular masturbation, regular ejaculation practice, they evacuate all those minerals and nutrients out of the body on a regular basis. And what happens after you ejaculate? You tend to get really tired and sleepy and maybe feel a little lethargic. I mean, it feels good. Feels good. But it also has some immediate and maybe some long-term consequences when you do it very, very regularly. So that's sort of the basis for approaching semen retention. But let's talk about some of the reported benefits of doing so, and then I'll tell you exactly how to go about doing it if it's something that you want to experiment with. So there's 3 different areas of benefit of semen retention. There's physical benefits, emotional and mental benefits, and then relational and spiritual benefits. Some of the physical benefits include greater vitality, feeling more energized without as much sleep, experiencing more muscle growth, experiencing a
deeper, more masculine voice,
and some men suggest that it actually improves your sperm quality. On a mental and emotional note, a lot of men experience reduced anxiety, including approach anxiety and performance anxiety, which are crucial if you're going to get better at sex. They also experience better memory, better cognitive functioning, better focus, and they develop important and attractive character traits like self-control, delayed gratification, and integrity, the ability to do what you say and then say what you do. A lot of men also experience increased motivation to do the things that they want to do, to start the business they want to start the gym routine that they want to have, to go after the date that they want to get. So there's a lot of benefits on the mental and emotional side. And I would add to that some of the biggest benefits that a man can experience on the mental emotional side are a stronger sense of self and of self-control. Like, you're controlling your body in this really deep, really like ancient way. Something that we have in common with lizards and monkeys and all of our ancestors. And so this is a really important psychological benefit that taps into something that is just very, very deep and something that is just like totally beyond anything that we can experience just in our regular world. And then finally, the spiritual and relational benefits. Men overall experience more life satisfaction, more joy, happiness, feeling more centered in their purpose, feeling more in control of their life. And then on the relationship side, listen, women find men who do semen retention and have this sort of self-control to be very attractive. There's a couple different reasons for that. It's not going to be any surprise to you that women are not attracted to men that don't have any self-control. That's a huge red flag for us. That makes us feel like you might be dangerous, especially when you feel you don't have any self-control over your pleasure and ejaculation. That's on a subconscious level is a huge turnoff for women, because we can feel when you don't have any self-control. We can feel that sort of like predatory kind of creepery vibe. It's like, it's not attractive to us, and we don't even have the consciousness to say, oh, that's what I don't like about this guy. Women just don't like guys that can't control themselves. Like, they are just a turnoff for them. And I don't mean can't control themselves like, oh baby, I'm so attracted to you, I can't control myself. I mean, like, I literally am turned on and I don't know how to sit with that. I don't know how to be turned on and also with a woman. It freaks me out. We can feel that. But semen retention also helps you to develop character traits that women do find attractive. Again, like integrity, a deep grounded and centeredness. Like, you're deeply rooted. A breeze or a titty pic on Instagram is not gonna blow you over and totally mess up your life. Like, women are really attracted to men that are unflappable, are confident, are not anxious, really know themselves, and are really able to be present with her. Women are also more attracted to men who do not give away their sexual energy and their sexual essence, or even see all women as desirable sexual partners. It's not discerning to want to give your seed to every single woman. It might be a good evolutionary strategy at one point if you were like Genghis Khan, but for the majority of men, like, you should be discerning on who you're having sex with and who you even want to be having sex with. And that is very attractive to women. When a man is discerning, he doesn't just give it away regular. I mean, think about it. It makes sense. Like, you're not attracted to women who just give it away to anyone and everyone, right? Because it strikes of someone who's got low self-esteem and doesn't make good decisions and is looking at sex to actually give them something like a level of consciousness, a level of confidence, a level of self-assuredness that we believe that they ought to just have on their own. And so when we see someone going to sex to fill those gaps in themselves, it doesn't feel good and we're not attracted to them. So anyways, major benefits are you'll feel better emotionally and physically, and women will be more attracted to you. I mean, to me, that sounds like a win-win, 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 win-win-win, win. Okay, so we've talked about why you should consider semen retention, but what even is semen retention? In short, it is the practice of not ejaculating for extended periods of time. What an extended period of time is to you will be different than what an extended period of time is to him, to her, to anyone else watching this. The most important thing is actually the intention, developing control around your ejaculation and choosing to ejaculate when it is right for you and not just because it is an urge for you. An important caveat is that semen retention does not mean going without orgasms or going without sex, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. And this is not the same as NoFap. NoFap, which is a movement and a trademarked website, is actually more about changing your relationship to porn and ejaculating only with your female partner or male partner, which is different than what we're talking about. NoFap is great for changing your relationship to porn, masturbation, and orgasm, and restoring a healthy sexual connection to a partner. And semen retention is more about developing a personal growth habit, and it requires a whole lot more than just not masturbating. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that right now. Number 1, get your baseline. You gotta know where you are, where you're starting, so that you can know where you got to. Now, part of your baseline is how often do you ejaculate? Are you once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day, 3 times a week, 3 times a month, 3 times a year? You just have to, if you're doing 3 times a year, you're probably already doing semen retention on some level. So maybe this video actually is not for you, but I appreciate you hanging out this long anyways. Determining how often you ejaculate is going to help you to determine, or at least take your best guess at how soon you can expect to see some of these benefits. And it's also going to let you know how deeply you might feel some of the downsides. Getting your baseline and keeping data from there is really, really important. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a total nerd and a data dork. Hey, I love analytics, I like statistics, give me the numbers, I want to see you tracking, give me the spreadsheets, give me the journals. Number 2, expect some difficulties and plan accordingly. There's a reason I haven't talked about semen retention before, and that's because it is not as simple as like a tip. One of the reasons I haven't spoken about semen retention before is that it's not something that can be broken down in just a handful of tips and delivered to you in 20 minutes. I recognize I'm trying to do that to you right now, but I'm also going to give you some resources for your continued support. This is not just something that fits on like a business card. This is a way of life. So because this is a change to your way of life, just like all major changes, you know, whether it's like you had a kid or you got a new job, there's going to be some transitional stuff that comes up, and you can expect some difficulties. Some of the difficulties that you can expect when switching to semen retention are that you're gonna have an excess of energy that used to be put into building sperm and semen and then shooting it out your body on a regular basis. And as I mentioned before, this is a huge amount of energy. This is not like a little bit of energy that's been going in. This is like a massive amount. I mean, think about all of your sex drive, all of your sexual energy. You don't just get to decide that that's gonna go away because I've decided to experiment with semen retention because I saw it on the internet. It doesn't happen that way, and thankfully, right? That's really powerful energy. If you deny that energy, it's not gonna go away. You'll just become numb to it, or you're gonna get really aggressive and uncomfortable, and you're gonna feel like you have to like get this thing out of your body. Like, moral of the story is that you have to have a plan for that energy. You can't expect it to just, whoop, I'm schwitzing, I'm talking hot, It's hot in here. It's hot under these lights. It's hot under these guns. Oh, they're not. I've been slouching. One difficulty you can almost 100% expect is that you're gonna find out what role ejaculation was playing in your life as a de-stressor or as something that allowed you to numb against your problems. So you're gonna learn exactly what your triggers are, and this I want you to see as an opportunity. You're gonna learn what your triggers are. You're going to learn that when you had a stressful day at work, you just wanted to come home and bust a nut and relax. And you're not going to be able to do that anymore. So you have got to have a plan in place that is going to help you to manage the difficulties and the stress that come along with no longer having your major stress reliever. Now, I'm telling you this because I know that you can handle it. This is going to be a brief period of time that's dependent on your baseline and how often you are already ejaculating. But my friend, you can absolutely handle this. This is just some discomfort. It will go away. And it's a huge opportunity because now you're not going to numb out against your life anymore. You're going to actually do something about the job. You're actually going to do something about the girlfriend or the family or whatever that was causing you to turn to ejaculation to begin with. This is also going to be a time where your brain chemistry is rebalancing because you're not going to have porn, you're not going to have ejaculation, you're not going to have that same reward and desire cycle that's been washing your brain with chemicals on a regular basis. And so you're going to experience some difficulties. There may be some brain fog, there may be headaches, there may be some discomfort. You might even feel more depressed or anxious for a brief period of time. I promise you, stay with it, stick to the course. And this is where step 3 comes in. Step 3 is do something with that energy. I highly recommend, first of all, that you move your body. Do short bursts of exercise like sprints, lifting really, really heavy weights, and do this in such a way that you're actually moving all that energy out of your body and not allowing it to get stuck and to be stagnant. You can also use that energy to go inside and develop a meditation practice. You can also develop a new skill set, learn how to play a new sport, or build things with your hands. That combines both physical activity and mental focus, and that's going to help you to do something with that energy. Remember that sexual energy is creative energy. So do something that is creative. You can paint, you can draw, you can garden, you can learn how to cook. You can watch master classes, like my master class. Tip number 4 is take really good notes. Keep track. Keep track of your triggers, keep track of your successes, keep track of everything. If you don't keep track, you will not have data points to go back to later to see what was going on at the time. I highly recommend a daily journal where you keep track of the ups and the downs, the goods and the bads, the feelings that came up for you, the challenges that came up for you. It's very easy to kind of have high expectations for yourself, and a journal helps you to be compassionate and thoughtful towards yourself. It's a really, really, really important move. Highly recommend it. Also, count your days, but don't feel like a failure if you end up ejaculating. I think that having rewards in mind, like 1 week, no ejaculation, 14 days, 21 days, 30 days without ejaculating, those are amazing goals. And I want you to celebrate yourself regardless or not if you get them. Make sure that you set rewards for yourself. So after a certain number of days, maybe it's only after 48 hours, you get a reward. You get to do something that you love, whether it's playing Mario Kart with your friends or enjoying an ice cream cone. Now, I try not to do like sugary things as a reward because listen, food is another place that we go to numb and to get comfort. So not ejaculating, but like maybe I'm eating a pint of ice cream. Ooh. So reward yourself with little treats, but don't let that become your whole reward system, because then we're just replacing one thing with another. And I should know, I've been there. All right, and here is probably the most important part. Number 5 is approach sex differently. Listen, a very intelligent man, Albert Einstein, once said, I'm getting my Einstein quotes mixed up. Oh, think about Einstein too much is I guess the answer there. Very intelligent man. Albert Einstein once said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You cannot have sex the same way that you used to. This is a critical importance. The way that you likely used to have sex was moving you towards ejaculation and little else. Ejaculation was like the end goal, the finish line, the reason for sex's existence. And we're essentially going to change that, which means that sex has got to become about something more than just a race to the finish line. You're obviously watching this channel, so I know that women's pleasure matters to you, but sex is going to become so much more about pleasure and less about orgasm, and it has to in order for semen retention to really work. The good news is that the changes that this will require you to make are going to make sex better for both you and her. You're gonna have to go slower. You're gonna have to connect with her more. She's going to experience the power that comes from you not giving away your seed over and over again. And that masculine power is going to be so attractive to her in the bedroom. Now, I bet you're thinking, what if I have premature ejaculation? Because if you tell me I'm gonna go 14 days without ejaculating and then I go to have sex with a woman, I am going to bust instantly. Yes, and for you, I highly 10 out of 10 recommend my whole course on premature ejaculation, which is called Come When You Want. Link is in the description below. You can absolutely build in a semen retention practice into the existing framework of Come When You Want the way that I've explained it. The reason that I did not build it in from the get-go is, as I hope it is clear by now, this is a huge topic, something that we cannot cover in one video, and it certainly requires a lot of support, a lot of help. If you are interested in getting one-on-one coaching from me, I would be delighted to personally guide you through this part of your sexual journey and beyond. I'll put the link in the description below as well. So just a quick recap: semen retention, a lot of benefits: physical and mental, emotional, spiritual, relational. You will become more attractive to women, but that is not the reason for doing it. The reason for doing it is because of the way that you will feel powerful, masculine, in control, strong. All of these traits that men are desperately looking for everywhere. And when you're not finding them, the answer is to go internally and see that you already are them, you already have them. Before you go, please make sure that you are subscribed. Go into the comments and type yes. If you enjoyed this video, I'm sending you all my love. I'll see you here next week. Good night.